lead the charge over to the Whittaker household.
Weird.
George.
But you two can run, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
moving
Somehow taking the lead.
So it's clear from the building they're not quite as moneyed as the Hawleys. And you knock on the door. A servant opens and says, "Yes."
Hello.
"Oh, Father Carter. How nice to see you."
It is. We have come to visit Mr. and Mrs. Whittaker to give our condolences on their most recent of losses.
"Yes, well..."
You okay?
Just
"I'm afraid it's
bizarre way to phrase that.
it's just Mrs. Whittaker now. She lost her husband 5 years ago."
Ah, well, then
Hence the most
You gave
that
eulogy.
I did.
"You gave his eulogy."
you kind of just spun ashes to ashes for about 5 minutes.
It's what I do.
So he escorts you in and says, "If you'd just like to wait in the drawing room, I'll see if she's up to any visitors today."
Very well.
So he leads you into a sitting room very similar to the one where you kind of finished off dinner last night at the Hawleys.
Any photos of the Whittaker boy?
There are. He's a very fresh-faced youth, the prime of his life. Looks like he enjoyed playing sport. You see one picture of him in boxing gloves. Not a professional picture, but it looks like he enjoyed kind of that sort of
I
thing.
need to investigate the
rough and
pictures
tumbles.
and sort of lean over and just mention to Leonard. It would be useful to be able to carry around a picture like one of these in order to see if anyone has met the boy. It's a shame we have none. And then turn around.
I'm assuming you said that loud enough to... Wait, were you saying that quietly to Leonard?
Yes.
Or loud enough that the butler
Oh, I
might...
see.
Like,
The butler's
Yeah.
out of the room. He's checking Mrs.
Yeah,
Whittaker.
just to Leonard.
right, I see.
Obviously, I'm not going to steal a photo from this house. But you're a lawyer.
Is this part of my service?
No, we're investigating.
Yeah.
And it would be useful to have a photo of the boy.
I am an investigator. Yes. I'm going to pick a... Probably not one where he's boxing. It'd be weird to steal him.
Are you stealing a picture
Everyone
of...
you ask if they've met him, they'll be like, I've never met a boy with hands that big.
Are you stealing a picture of Clarence Whittaker?
I don't think the photos would be coloured.
Good point.
And boxing gloves probably wouldn't be red.
They were brown.
Brown.
So Mrs. Whittaker comes into the room. And this
Quickly,
is...
just shove a photo in my pocket.
Have you stolen a picture?
I have stolen a picture. It's a picture of him not in any sort of sporting way.
She doesn't notice that you've nicked a picture.
Committed a crime.
So
I definitely don't,
From
because I'm
her
looking
room.
out the
I
window.
need to make a note of the fact that I have a picture. I don't want to put it under treasure possession because that would get weird.
So this is a woman who's clearly in mourning. She's wearing black.
Mrs. Whittaker.
"Oh, Father Carter, how good to see you again."
Oh, do take a seat. You look frail from worry.
"Thank you." She sinks down into a seat, and the butler follows in after her carrying tea. It's tea for everyone.
Do not spill it, it will burn.
Thank you. You've always been,
I'm looking out for
you've
her!
always been so good to my family.
You're a little condescending.
I'm condescending to a butler. You're meant to be condescending to butlers.
Yeah, but he's going to know not to spill tea more than you.
We can both know not to spill tea exactly as much as each other.
So she looks around at you and says, "Oh, I appreciated your visit last week. After the..." She wails a bit.
Yes, of course.
Why have you come today? It's not Sunday till tomorrow." She kind of subtly condescends back.
When you're in the service of God, every day is a Sunday.
She looks at you, utmost wisdom.
I don't think that's true.
It makes my calendar very fucking confusing. But it is true. I would like to... remember your son with you together. come together
With these two strangers.
Strange.
as a community. Oh, allow me to introduce. This is Leonard. He's a close family friend of my brother and I.
Lovely to meet you.
And of course, this is my brother.
I did notice the resemblance. Jonas spoken of you.
He is unmarried.
No, I'm not.
Really?
I have a wife and 2 children.
Well, I thought your wife died.
We did think.
What? My old wife died.
But the young one's still alive.
We have talked about this. You're not supposed to die.
Enchanted. I'm sure.
I'm
So sorry to hear about your loss? Question mark.
It's something that sticks with you.
Not with him, apparently.
No.
I'll
Indeed
forget
not.
that.
Her name is Sally.
Your wife's name.
Yes.
This is not the time.
I'm just trying to remind you.
Mrs. Whittaker is trying to look unconfused
I feel
and failing.
I feel like the wife Sally
Sally.
goes to another school. It's like
Well, we rarely.
Canadian. Never met. He just doesn't want me to bother him about marrying these old widows.
Is she old?
I mean, she's old enough to have a 20.
Oh, Mrs. Whittaker. I thought you were still talking
that's
about Mrs.
I remember
Sally, the wife.
20-something years ago when I baptised you. I've been in the States for 15 years. I didn't baptise her.
No, it was such a blessing when you arrived in our parish.
And then baptised by 15-year-olds.
Can be baptised when they're like 10, 11, 12. Like,
They can. It's true.
I'm sorry, if it had been anyone but you, I wouldn't have received visitors today. Why have you come?
It's a sensitive issue, as all things are, I understand, at this particular difficult time. I would like to clear up some confusion. The people that we visited the other day, who go by the name of the Hollies.
Oh, yes, Sir Robert Hawley and his wife,
Robert Holly.
Theodora.
Indeed.
Theodora has been indispensable after the death. Oh, she wails a bit again.
I'm just writing down Theodora. Nailed it.
Do you do that to Mrs. Whittaker right
No.
now?
That was Jack's appreciation
Okay.
of the moment. The emotional tension that was.
Their son, we believe, is travelling down a dark path
Oh, Marcus, yes.
with a particular.
Clarence was such good friends with him.
This is part of our worry. Do you believe, before his time, and I'm very sorry to bring it up again, do you believe that Clarence may have been travelling down the similar dark path?
Oh, it's so difficult to think about now. Now that I know how it ends, but I should have seen the signs. You see, I think he was going down dark paths. He would come home covered in bruises quite often, and he told me he didn't want to talk about it. But
just bruises, or were there also scratches?
just bruises. Maybe a cut lip once or twice. He told me he was boxing.
At night?
I never thought to ask about the times.
Is that when people box?
Yeah.
People box at night, don't they?
They do.
People box when the want takes them, I suppose.
Do you think he was boxing at night? And it sort of becomes clear that Clarence Whittaker doesn't live at home still. He lives at university in a campus.
He's dead now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is.
Oh, he lived in a camp, like on
He
campus?
lived in a campus dorm.
Right.
So she wouldn't know the times that he was performing his boxing. She would see him for sort of Sunday dinner, family meals, and he explained the bruises and the cuts as
What was he studying?
sport.
Sport.
He's not studying sport. I guess he would have been in business with Marcus.
Marcus is also studying business.
Business!
So she becomes a bit more fraught to discover he might have been boxing at night. It sounds to you as though he passed it off as a school activity.
Did you ever visit your son at whatever university you went to?
Miskatonic University.
Oh dear. That's not a good sign.
Miskatonic.
Miskatonic.
Oh, well, I went during, sort of family graduations and... No, I didn't. Yeah. He's an adult.
He's his own person, make his own decisions. I mean, I guess.
I do have a few questions about, and please do let me know if you would like my associates to, I think my associate and my brother, I guess, to leave. If this is not, if you don't want to talk about this in front of them, but we do need to go over some arrangements for the BODY, the way they can't spell.
She doesn't really understand what you're trying to get at.
Indeed, we wouldn't want to intrude. Perhaps we should retreat to the parlour?
Seems a little shocked that you would discuss that in front of strangers.
Don't worry, they're leaving.
I am a stranger.
To her?
Yeah. I'm still going to read his will out, but if he had a will. Probably didn't have a will, he's a young man. Didn't really think this through. To Marcus, I leave my parrot. That's pretty much it.
Old murder pip.
Damn. And I'm gonna sort of try and lead Leonard out of the room so that they can have a private conversation.
Leonard scoops you up
So,
in his huge eyes.
Leonard will not be led.
Leonard the lurker is now out in the hallway.
Yeah.
While
that nickname never left you after school.
While Father Carter and Mrs. Whittaker remain in the parlour.
Do you remain a Mrs. after your husband dies?
I think it's up to you.
Up to me? No. But I have the power to retract the Mrs. from my name.
Specifically. I think so. I think you do remain.
Okay. Mrs. Whittaker.
It's the late Mrs.
Father Carter.
Wait, no.
First of all,
dead.
after my visit, when I visited last week, I would have brought all of this up, but at the time, you seemed much frailer than you do now. Frankly, you are doing very well.
Yes, it was such a shock. The state of the body. I can't even...
This is what I would like to talk to you about. Now, I don't need you to describe in detail the state of the body. Obviously, it would help me to properly
a study or a bedroom, like do some
the
snooping.
funeral. In some ways.
So the body would be being prepared by a mortician.
Yes, so I'm leading up to trying to work out where, because I need to pick up the body. But I want to allude that there is some kind of priestly thing.
So do you mean pick up the body for the funeral?
Yeah.
The morticians deliver bodies to the church where the funerals are.
But I need to know. I don't need to know which mortician is going to deliver it, but I'm trying to push the conversation in a direction where I might be told where the body currently is.
Could you make me a persuade or charm or some kind of roll, because she doesn't want to talk about it.
I know, I'm not persuading at all. I'm very
If
charming.
Having a kind of conversation with her would trying to grasp this information potentially be an act of listening.
Yes.
But
I
not
think that would
listening
work.
and spotting.
No, but just
Listen
listening.
is one of the psychology
Oh,
rules.
right. I see.
So I
So
want to read between
you
the
can
lines.
you can discuss with her
I
kind
see,
of vaguely some of the things you go over some of the things you went over last week and try to pick up on clues, she says, about arrangements that have been made since, that how difficult it's been. So what was your result?
I got a 48 and I was aiming for 70.
Okay, so normal success. You think that the body is being held at Arkham Morgue, which is one of the main ones. She mentions having to go down and identify the body and picking up on context clues, discussing the journey. You think it sounds like Arkham Morgue.
Okay. Very well. And I would like to ask whether or not he had any items that were particularly special to him that he would potentially want to be... So, because of the state of the body, and I'm going to use her shock at me bringing up the state of the body again, it's going to be a closed casket deal, right?
Yes.
We're not...
The arrangement she specifically made with you are for closed casket.
I
Probably
thought it would be
airtight seal.
Yeah, I thought it would be really, really nice. I thought it would be really... As soon as I say it in Carter's voice, it ceases to be thoughtful. I thought it would be very nice.
I know, I've been noticing this during this game.
I thought it would be really nice if, on top of the closed casket, a few items that were very meaningful to him in his last few days were placed.
Oh, you're so thoughtful.
Do you have a collection of his possessions I could rifle through?
Make me a persuade. Hard persuade.
Gotta listen.
Hard persuade.
Ooh, that's half a persuade, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 20 for you, I think.
19.
Nice.
That's exactly 20.
So she will allow you a brief look at his room. I'm assuming you're presenting this as...
No, so I don't want to go to his room.
Good.
Because he's living in the camp. Yeah, I don't want to kill his parrot. Like, what I want to... I want his possessions that he had in his last few days.
Okay.
So,
the campus items would have been delivered to her.
okay, she's put them in his
After...
room.
Yeah.
Okay,
up
there's a
to
parrot here though, I'm
upstairs.
killing it. But if there isn't...
You looking specifically for a parrot?
No, I'm looking...
But if there is one,
As we've said, if there's a parrot in a scene, Morgan does have to tell us.
Yes.
That's true.
I have to bring it up. Okay, so she'll escort you to one of the upstairs rooms.
I think this might be a good time to mention what Leonard and I were planning on doing
Okay.
whilst this
You've
conversation
been
was going.
plotting.
Yeah,
we have been...
we were thinking of sneaking up to his room
So are you...
to have a snoop around while she was distracted.
Jack, if I've proven anything, it's that 100% of the time I will be given access to young boys' rooms. Okay?
So is Mrs. Whitaker and...
Young men.
And Father Carter about to go upstairs to visit the deceased's possessions, and they will find you already there.
Unless we can get out of there quick. Is there a window?
You hear them coming up the stairs. Are you in the room? The room I haven't described yet. Okay, so while they're talking, you walk upstairs.
Yes.
You are confronted with a hallway that kind of twists around, and there are 4 doors to choose from.
I mean, the one that will just open the first door.
The
First
door,
on the left.
it appears to be Mrs. Whitaker's bedroom.
Oh my.
Master bedroom.
Close that.
I reckon the second on the right.
Second on the right. Roll me a luck roll.
They wouldn't share like a wall with your mother's room.
Exactly.
94.
That
That's
went
bad, isn't it?
almost as badly as it possibly could have done.
It's laundry.
That
You've
is the
found
worst result.
The laundry.
I mean, that's...
You hear them coming up the stairs.
Just act casual.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Carter, Mr.
Marvellous.
Litigator.
Is your last name Litigator?
Leonard
Litigator.
Yeah.
Litigator.
Esquire.
Large lawyer at large.
I assume that was your job.
Yes.
It's coincidence.
I was wondering if you could tell us the way to the facilities.
Oh, yes, downstairs.
Marvellous. Downstairs, Leonard.
Jolly good.
Why were both of you looking for the facilities?
Well, to be honest, it became rather something of a quest. It's a very curiously laid out house. It's lovely. I love what you've done with the place. Nice,
Laundry.
laundry. It's very, very modern.
So, I guess, roll me a persuade or she's going to become fraught.
Perhaps a charm.
Charm, yeah.
I might go with a persuade. Oh,
Fuck.
Oh, come on, Jack. Charm was your thing.
okay, I've got
I
a
know,
17 for persuade.
I
was
rolled a
aiming for
92.
85.
So, with your calm demeanour, you persuade her there is actually nothing amiss. Although Mr. Carter is kind of doing his best to convince her otherwise. So you two going back downstairs? You...
Bathroom together, apparently.
I think it's about time for a smoke. I'll wait outside.
Okay.
I've been smoking the entire time.
Oh, yes, we're allowed now. Oh, yeah.
It's the past.
It's the past.